How many of you have wondered whether entrepreneurs are born or are made? What role education has in one's entrepreneurial journey? Those of you who are already working, when is the right time to take a plunge into entrepreneurial journey? Well, today, dear SRCC family, we have someone with us who has lived these questions and found his own answers. Mr. Harsh Binani. He is an alumnus of Sri Ram College of Commerce and his company, he's co-founder of SmartWorks, and SmartWorks just completed a very successful IPO. He is a person who has transformed work environments and has blended traditional business values with strategic insights and innovation. We welcome you, Harsh. Pleasure having you here.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for having me here.
And many congratulations for successful IPO run.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, so Harsh will walk down a little bit the memory lane. We want to start with the first day when you stepped through the gates of your alma mater and the place where you're standing today.
The name SRCC rings on nostalgia. The name, it crops up. Right, it's been about 15 odd years since I graduated from college. And every milestone of my life, right from moving from Calcutta, where I was in a sheltered environment with my parents, to coming to those famed red brick corridors, staying long nights in the hostel, making lifelong friends, but more importantly, learning life lessons in college, to traversing US right after that when I got the opportunity through college to get placed at McKinsey and Company, which is the world's foremost consulting firm in US, to living that American dream, pursuing business school, and then finally coming back and taking the plunge to build a new enterprise in India and take that risk, forming all the lessons that I'd learned at SRCC. I just feel life has moved a full circle because SRCC has played a pivotal role not only from an academic foundation wise, but building a very strong character. And it has not only shaped my career, but shaped who I am, and particularly my courage for a young 21-year-old lad who had seen life only growing up in Calcutta, getting exposed to New Delhi, which back in the day in 2007 was just going through a major transformation. Commonwealth Games were coming up, the college was going through so much infrastructure change. You could start to see new ambition, and that really conditioned and brought you towards taking more and more courage in life.
Wonderful, Harsh. So, Harsh, the way you have put it, I can simply say that any student's academic sojourn at the college can be divided into three parts. One, learning in the classroom. Two, life outside the classroom. And for people like you who were living on the campus, unique hostel experience. So, how each one of these contributed in shaping you in your professional life and in your entrepreneurial journey?
Reflecting on the 3 years that I spent between 2007 and 2010, when I pursued economic honors at college, I can safely say SRCC was not an academic experience. It was, in fact, a life experience. And, ma'am, as you rightly summarized the three major buckets of that entire experience, if I were to just reflect on what were the key learnings and how it shaped me when I look at academics, the class days were memorable because you were here rubbing shoulders with the most intelligent people across India who had worked incredibly hard to get to where they had. They had all had different struggles. They all had their own stories. Bonding with them and challenging each other to test yourself. And when you get tested from the best, you don't realize you become a better version of yourself. Academically, the professors who were the best challenged a lot of the status quo for us throughout the journey. And that deep imprint always left behind a strong place in our mind. Outside of college, the life experience that HRCC pushes you, which is right after 2:30, to pursue extracurricular activities, because you're the sum of several experiences that you get, were very memorable. Right from participation in the debating society, dramatic society, to being very participative in the placement committee. But at the same time, also then making sure that you actually go with your friends and experience New Delhi, and also make a lot of trips in and around Delhi during holidays. All of them had a different lesson altogether. And most importantly, the experience at the hostel. Again, you were very pampered when you were with your parents. This was your first independent sojourn in life, where you were challenged to not only stay outside your comfort zone, but also live very independently and stay very frugally, well within your means. Perhaps looking back now, I can truly say those 3 years in the hostel changed my life forever and made me extremely fiercely independent. Then perhaps life will only get better from here.
I remember vividly that you were a part of the team, student team that conceptualized Business Conclave in 2010, and you people organized it very well. Comes 2025, you come back to the same event and you address the audience. What changed and what remained unchanged when you walked into the auditorium?
Wow, that's actually going back in time. It was almost perhaps 15, 16 years back. And I remember back in the day, it was one of the first years we were organizing the Business Conclave. And it took quite some effort to mobilize all resources to bring the event together. And as it happens in the first event, you have to do a lot more harder to shape that event. And those were days where we were not as digitally connected. We felt the world had a lot less resources. But having come back to the event, which the college graciously invited me, it almost seems to me that the event has now become world class, with a greater ambition, phenomenal polish, and the quality of speakers and the learnings. I myself wished that had I been a student then, with the profile of speakers and the learnings that was curated, I would have learned so much more and got inspired. However, I noticed some things haven't changed as well. The curiosity that I saw in the students, particularly with regards to understanding, and the curiosity mindset demonstrated when they had the chance to ask questions. It just made me feel that uh, today's generation is so much well informed. They have so many choices available. And in fact, it was a struggle for me as well, that if I want 15 minutes of their attention, distraction free, how do I make sure that I make the narrative very, very interesting? And I very humbly walked out of the conference and reminded myself that when your dreams are big, your vision can actually turn into reality. There were days during the conference where you were actually scouting for speakers to actually come and address, and made you realize in all humility that life can come a full circle if you work really hard to get what you want to. So thank you again for actually inviting me, and it was very memorable to actually go back and unwind the clock
Yeah.
when I looked at the conference.
And whatever experiences you shared, and since we were lucky enough to be a part of the audience and hear our own student from the dais, it was a wonderful experience, and the lessons which you shared were very, very relevant. So thank you for that. And Harsh, one memory, one experience from SRCC which you bring to your office every day.
There are several. Because when you live those 3 years fully embracing 24 hours in the
We are
campus,
greedy enough.
a lot
You can tell.
actually absorbs. But the one lesson that always has remained an important part of the journey is that there is no right time for anything. And many times in life, you do not have the full map, you do not have the full direction as you would want. But at the same time, there isn't any perfect time. And SRCC actually taught you to take a lot of risks in life at a very young age, which at that point of time did not appear like a very big deal. But now that you reflect back and make those small decisions or those big decisions in life, with a lot of uncertainty around you, it reminds you that if I could do it in SRCC, then I can definitely do it in life.
So you are talking about the risk which SRCC kind of introduced you to. Can you name some, or can you recall what kind of risks which were there, which you learned to convert them into opportunities?
During SRCC, there was a structured program of academics, and there were several clubs and extracurricular activities that we were part of. But I remember that entrepreneurial spirit in me was always there, and SRCC did give me a chance to actually harbor some of those ambitions from a very early time. I particularly remember that I was a leader in the placement cell, where there were a lot of new initiatives that we were encouraged by the convener at that point of time, which if I reflect back today, almost seem like a startup. Because at that point of
It's nothing
time,
less than taking a risk.
because
with
at that
not
point of
twisting
time, you know,
actions kind.
jobs, etc., weren't as popular. You had to do a lot of work to actually make it attractive for campus placements. Now they've obviously become popular, but back in 2007, 8, they weren't. And you were actually, by the way, at the height of crisis in Neiman. And then I obviously also had the chance to start up, where I founded the Entrepreneurship Club. So those moments, if you reflect back, not only enabled me to take those bold risks, but SRCC also gave me that enabling environment where I could work with the faculty and lot of bright students, both seniors as well as juniors, and a lot of friends, because you're as good as your team. So that experience also shaped a lot of my collaboration and teamwork, because you're the sum of whoever you work with and the right mentors and advice that you get.
Yeah, so you have gone through all the 3 years, the academic courses. Anything which you feel we can change in the curriculum, we can introduce in the curriculum based on your entrepreneur experiences, which are important for today's generation?
Whatever academics taught me, my life from Calcutta to New Delhi and then several years in US, while I was working in corporate America with one of the best firms in the world, McKinsey, and also subsequently pursuing Kellogg, my business school, taught me a lot of narratives about real life experiences. And then when I moved back to India and started up, it almost felt that you have to operate in an environment where there's a lot of uncertainty. So I perhaps believe that today's world has changed and evolved, where a lot of information is easily accessible, and today's generation is able to absorb a lot more information. However, when we have an overload of information and a lot of uncertainty, decision making sometimes becomes weaker. So perhaps I do feel if we are able to blend in a lot more real life experiential lessons, as well as ensure that we are able to not only learn frameworks, but at the same time learn about taking decisions with uncertainty. Because many times you just have 2 or 3 data points out of 10 to take a decision, and then rely on your gut instinct and follow the map and make that decision right. That is something that I feel is something in today's age which has become much more competitive. Definitely something
We'll
that we should.
certainly work towards implementing your suggestion. Harsh, you know that SRCC is 99 years and next year is our centenary year. What is your vision of the college in the next century, and how do you think alums can contribute to realize that?
SRCC has such a rich legacy of building the nation, and it has been almost at the forefront of shaping the thinking of the country. And today, as it embarks on this landmark 100 years, which very few institutions in the world have the distinction of, we can only reflect back with a lot of gratitude with what the college has done for us. But today comes the time where we as alumni, perhaps looking at how we've also met a lot of friends across the world who've also been educated at some of the world's best institutes, reflect that what can we now give back to the college and shape it as it moves into its next major milestone, which hopefully will also coincide with India becoming a developed economy with the grand vision that our country has. There are so many opportunities for us as alumni to mentor the next generation at SRCC, share our learnings. And while the college was always one of the most cutting edge in terms of infrastructure in today's age, when we know that there are so many resources being raised across the world by all alumni across institution, that's clearly also an area which we as an alumni can get together to build a new age infrastructure which is ready for the developed economy that India is actually going to become, and shape the next leaders in the country who not only seek great jobs but are also nation builders and job creators, just like SRCC was the foremost when India became independent.
Yeah, so I think you're talking here about transforming the study environment for the students with good infrastructure and facilities. So, Harsh, last question to you. It's just an observation of all of us that entrepreneurship these days is seen with lens of glamour. What are the lesser known realities which our students should know as they decide or whenever they decide to embark their entrepreneurial journey? And what is the message to your juniors which you want to give?
That's a great question to an entrepreneur, because oftentimes what gets reflected outside is glamour, which, if you truly ask us, is only 1% of our journey, because that's what you get to see outside, but it's all 99% grind. And when you asked me this question, one of the first reactions that came to my mind was one of my early days with my mentor. And there have been several I'm so thankful for, right from college to my journey up until now, where that mentor shared a very central story about how one of his students asked him that, I want to be very successful in life. Can you please tell me the secret? And next day, that mentor called him near a river and took him inside the river. Right when he was neck deep, he pushed him inside the water. That student was scrabbling for breath, and within a minute and a half, just when he was about to gasp for breath, pulled him out and relayed back the life lesson to him. That the day you realize that when you want to gasp for breath like this, and you want to gasp for success also in a similar mode, that is the day you know you have arrived. And that is the journey of entrepreneurship. It has a lot of dark days, it has a lot of humbling days, but at the end of it, it's very rewarding. And we as entrepreneurs know that it is less about starting up and it's more about staying up, because eventually longevity is what drives success more than momentum. So you have to be very disciplined. And at the same time, in today's age, while we are also looking at a lot of successful stories, what we need to appreciate are what are some of the learnings and experiences that have shaped that success, which are not as glorified. In our journey of SmartWorks, we've had so many challenges building the business. We've used principles such as frugality, sustainability, which oftentimes are not as glorified. But that is where you actually find entrepreneurial success, which is what I will continue to encourage all upcoming budding entrepreneurs to continue to focus on.
So that frugality aspect you said you learned in the hostel, so maybe you're implementing it in your business.
Of course, frugality runs very deep, and I agree with you that hostel was one of the first learning grounds, along with my parents, who also instilled a lot of these values in me. And in fact, that's what we as entrepreneurs also many times feel, that you have to really fall in love with your business. You have to nurture it like a child, but you also have to respect it like your parents. And that is where the journey of entrepreneurship really builds and reflects.
Thank you so much, Harsh, for all your time
Thank-
and all your hospitality.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so much.
Thank you.